Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Volunteer State Community College for today's first game of the fall between the Cumberland JV coming in to Vol State to play your Pioneers. It's a beautiful day for baseball here in Gallatin, Tennessee for our first game of the 2023 fall schedule. We have a doubleheader today between the Phoenix and the Pioneers. You see head coach Jim McGuire for Vol State meeting with the umpires. Tim O'Day will be behind home plate. Johnny Lowry be on the bases today. The coach for the Cumberland JV squad, Derek Lowe, in his second season under head coach Ryan Hunt of the Cumberland Phoenix, a four-year school in Lebanon, Tennessee. This is Tim Reese back for year number 3 with the Pioneers, and as you probably can tell, struggling a little bit with my voice today. A little bit of an end of summer cold, I guess. But I have with me today Sam Wilson, student here at Volunteer State Community College. I just met Sam about 45 minutes ago, and he has already earned his money today, as typically happens when you start something new. You have some issues with technical problems, and seems like Sam is my man here. Sam is going to be producing today's shows, be running the cameras and the scoreboard, and this is Sam's first time to be in the Vol State press box. And Sam, it's going to be great to have you. I'm going to go ahead and turn your mic up. We're going to hear a little bit about you here before we get started. Sam, tell us where you're from.
Well, I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama. I moved up here for Vol State. I've already got some college credits, so I should only be here a year, sadly.
Okay.
But I've enjoyed my time so far. I've been here a couple months, and it's a great place to live. I love it here.
All right, Huntsville, Alabama. What high school did you go to down there?
I went to Bob Jones High School.
Bob Jones.
Bob Jones.
Is that the golfer, Bob Jones?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think there was a golfer that there's Trent Jones, and is it Bob Jones? Braxton Alexander, our fall public address announcer, and DJ BA is here in the press box. He's taking the place of Alex Qualls, who is now done with his medical red shirt, and he'll be pitching today. Let's go right to the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups quickly as the Pioneers are getting ready. I'll give you the Cumberland JV starting lineup. Brady Nepper at shortstop leading off, batting second. Nate Severance playing center field. Caden Birch, the DH, hitting third. Gaines Hawson at third base, hitting cleanup. Second baseman Jackson Sheffield will bat fifth. JoJo Fedoric, hope we're saying that name right, playing left field, batting sixth. Ben Sills out in right field will hit seventh. First baseman Luke Manning will bat in the eighth spot, and Alec Whitlock will be behind the plate, batting ninth, and Bryant Rascal on the mound for the Cumberland JV. As you see, the Pioneers of Volunteer State that will be taking the field. Now we will take a break for the national anthem, as we are not able to play music on our broadcast. So we'll take a break and be right back.
Play ball.
And DJ Braxton Alexander says play ball. So we are getting ready for Vol State baseball in the fall. Thanks for joining us on the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter. Parker White out on the mound to begin things for the Pioneers. I see his dad Paul in the stands, back for year number 2. Parker's a sophomore. We'll have to adjust that camera angle. Parker White is a little bit too tall for our camera. How about that right there, Sam? Does that look a little better? Okay. Parker goes back and watches this video. He wants to see the top of his head, I bet. So Parker had an outstanding freshman year for the Pioneers. Trying to pull up his stats, but out of Knoxville West High School, left-hander, 6'1", 205 pounds. He was second team all-conference for Vol State. Not one of the original first 3 pitchers for conference play, but worked his way in there and had an outstanding campaign his freshman year. And he will be counted upon, as long as he's healthy, to nail down one of those first spots. I'll give you the defensive alignment for the Pioneers. Outfield, left fielder Drew Webster, Reggie Cooper in center, Stephen Bell in right field, Landon Luderman at third, Drew Plummer at short. On the right side of the defense, Corbin Overbay and Brody Melton, and freshman Lex Falsoni behind the plate, catching Parker White. A few fans still strolling into Tim Garrett Baseball Complex here. Beautiful sunny day, 81 degrees, feels like 84. And the first pitch from Parker White comes in at 1 p.m. And it is ball 1 to Brady Nepper, and we are underway here in Gallatin, Tennessee. Count now goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Nepper hitting from the right side. He is a freshman at Cumberland. He'll look at his first strike. Parker White doesn't throw hard, but he hits spots and has an excellent breaking pitch. Nice change up, throws a curveball there, and it is smacked down the third base line, foul. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just getting started here at Vol State. Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard out in left center field, brightly lit, and 2-2 pitch fouled straight back. Freshman J.C. Menendez from Miami is running the scoreboard here as we get started. Devin Thrain supervising the young freshman. Got a couple medical red shirts up here in the newly remodeled press box, not even a year old remodel. And we go to our first Full Count Ministries full count of the year. Reggie Cooper playing straight up out there in center field. And that ball's going to head right to him, and he'll run back a couple steps, turn back around, and then come back in and make the catch for out number 1. Parker White ran it to the string on a full count, but got Brady Nepper to fly out to the transfer from Cleveland State, Reggie Cooper. A little breeze rolling into the press box. You hear that from our field mic. White's first pitch to Nate Severance, the center fielder. Outside, ball 1. Tim O'Day behind home plate, calling balls and strikes. Johnny Lowry out on the bases today. There's a swing and a miss. On deck, Caden Birch, the DH. 2 cameras running for you today. We got the Zoom cameras we had last fall, and we have the full field camera as well. Both are run up here in the press box. We are efforting to get some mobile cameras. There's a pitch right down the On that inside corner, count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got 2-2. Right. There we go. A little delay on that scoreboard, or is that a delay on you? Reached out and just got a piece of it as Severance. Going back like a good defensive back, Corbin Overbay
now batting
makes the catch in the outfield for out number 2. Overbay, a sophomore from Sevierville, Tennessee. Got 2 Sevierville players back for the Pioneers, Corbin Overbay, and first pitch gets in there, or outside. Cam Hodges, also from Sevierville. 2 outs and a ground ball to short. Drew Plummer picks and sidearm throw over to Brody Melton for a 1-2-3 inning by Parker White. Just what you want to see in the first inning of the first fall game. And we're heading to the bottom of the first. The Pioneers will come to the plate. Heading to the bottom of the first inning, Corbin Overbay leads off for the Pioneers, facing Bryant Rascal. Overbay swings at the first pitch and grounds one past third base coach Jim McGuire. He has lost 2 coaches already in the fall. Braden Kale moved on to Trevecca as their full-time pitching coach, and John Ripel, volunteer assistant, has taken the head coach job at local high school here in Nashville, North Nashville, now called Pope Prep, formerly known as JP2. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Overbay, right-handed hitter, plays second base. On deck, Drew Webster. Corbin swings and misses on a disappearing breaking pitch. Nice pitch by Rascal.
now stepping to the plate, number 7, Drew Webster.
Drew Webster from Christ Presbyterian Academy, CPA in Nashville, Tennessee. Also got in a handful of games last year as a freshman, so he's starting his sophomore year. He swings also at the first pitch, just as Overbay did. Fouls that one off. scheduled for 2 7-inning ball games. Today, first games of the fall for either team. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Drew playing left field. Also can get behind the plate for head coach Jim McGuire if needed. Another foul ball. That one goes off of Drew's leg and will be foul. He'll be down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Few clouds out today. We'll see some sun popping in and out. Nice to be back in the press box. That got nice air conditioning up here. Windows we can see out. MGM Industries windows provided by Joe Gaskins and Patrick Stewart a year ago. Pitch was way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Webster. Nobody on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Another foul off to the right side, an MGM Industries foul ball into the trees. See what pitchers come out of the dugout here. Nobody coming out quickly there, guys. Is it Devin Thrain happy to be up in the press box, not having to chase down foul balls. 2-2 count. There's a ground ball to third. Gaines hossing up and over to Luke Manning at first to retire Drew Webster on a 5-3 put out. 2 outs. First 2 batters come to the plate. Bryant Rascal, we have no information regarding the Cumberland JV squad other than their number and what year they are. Rascal's a sophomore. First pitch swinging, Landon Luderman. He must have read the memo. Get up there and get aggressive. 3rd batter in a row for the Pioneers to swing at the first pitch. Landon Luderman, also from Knoxville, a 2nd-year player. He swings and misses at a high fastball, now down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Luderman from Knoxville Catholic High School, 5'10", 185-pound infielder, also can get behind the plate. Pioneers lost 2 catchers, starter and backup from a year ago, so looking for somebody to take the reins behind the plate. Luderman, Drew Webster, Drew Plummer, 3 guys back from last year's team that did not really get behind the plate in game action, but did work at the position fall and spring last year. Possibly get a chance behind the plate, but also some new guys as that ball is grounded down to first base. It's bobbled by Luke Manning. He will flip to Bryant Rascal for the 3rd out. And we are through 1, and nobody has reached base. We're heading to the top of the 2nd inning. No score. Top of the second we go. Parker White back out on the mound for delivered the first pitch ball to Gaines Hassan, the third baseman for Cumberland JV. Gets one in there for a called strike. Hassan's a sophomore as well. I believe I recall his name from a year ago. Pioneers play JV squad from Cumberland both in the fall and the spring. Typically 4 games in the spring. This year it'll be 3 games in the fall, as Pioneers will travel to Lebanon next week for a midweek game, 3 o'clock, 1 9-inning ball game. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hassan. White delivers a breaking pitch outside. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. All new lineup out there for the Pioneers, who started 8 sophomores or redshirt sophomores in the spring. Logan Molnar, who I don't think will play today, had labrum surgery back in May, I believe, was the only freshman really to crack the starting lineup. That 3-2 pitch misses just outside, and there's the first base runner of the ball game, and it's a walk to Gaines Hassan that'll bring up Jackson Sheffield.
Now at bat, number 2, Jackson Sheffield.
Left-handed hitter, plays second base. Freshman on the JV squad. Typically Cumberland will have about 70 guys on their baseball team, some JV, some varsity. Nobody from the Pioneers from last year's squad is over with Cumberland. There's a connection there. The head coach, Ryan Hunt, was the head coach here at Vol State before Jim McGuire got here, which Jim is now in his 3rd year with Vol State. Ryan Hunt slid right over to Cumberland after his father, Woody Hunt, retired. So there is a connection. 2 balls, no strikes to Jackson Sheffield. Parker White delivers a breaking pitch. Sheffield started to go, but the pitch missed outside after retiring the first 3 batters in the first inning. Fly out, pop out, and a ground out. White struggling a bit with some control here in his 2nd and probably final inning of work. And 4-pitch walk to Sheffield. Puts 2 runners on with nobody out. No pitching coach, so Brody Melton's going to come over from first base and talk to his buddy Parker White. Good move right there, and Lex Falsoni will come out from behind home plate, knowing that that's actually the catcher's job. Isn't that right, JC? But Brody Melton, a veteran sophomore from Tullahoma, Tennessee, and he's an encourager, folks. Brody Melton, a good young man. He's going to come out there and encourage his friend Parker.
Now hitting, number 7, JoJo Fedor.
Difficult job, really, as a freshman catcher to come out, even though you're the captain of the squad as the catcher, at least in my opinion. Hard to do that when you have sophomores, transfers, red shirts. That ball's bunted right back to Parker White. He's going to throw to second base and get that middle runner. A great job. I'm not sure if, assume that was Falsoni that was telling him where to go, and he came right up and fired that ball to second base to retire Jackson Sheffield, and that puts runners at the corners for the Cumberland JV with 1 out.
Number 26, Ben Sills.
Ben Sills at the plate, 1 out. Runners at first and third. A delayed steal, throw down to second base, and throw right on the money, but JoJo Fedoric in there. He reached on the fielder's choice. Now runners at second and third for Cumberland JV. So a stolen base for Fedoric. Falsoni, bit of a delay just to check on the runner, Gaines Hassan, at third base before making the throw, but that throw was right on the money. Runners at second and third, one out, fisted down the first base line. It will go foul. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike on the Phoenix right fielder, Ben Sills. Sills is a junior. I was going to say, I thought I remember hearing his name the last 2 years, actually. He has played in these games, seems like every year. There's a breaking pitch, just catches that outside corner. Parker White needing a strikeout up on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Luke Manning. Actually a fourth-year player for Cumberland. Breaking pitch lined out to center field. Reggie Cooper starts in and then goes back. This will drive in a run as Hassan comes in to score. An RBI sacrifice fly by Ben Sills. Drives in the first run of the ball game.
Luke Manning.
Cumberland JV lead 1-0. All right, scoreboard. We got 2 outs now. Sam, you're doing awesome, buddy. Keep it up.
Thank you.
So 1 in, 1 on, 2 out. Still no hits given up. First pitch to Manning, misses high and away. Leadoff walk came back to haunt White here in the second inning. Walked the first 2 batters. Fielder's choice on an attempted, actually, I guess with 2 runners on, you actually do get a sacrifice if you move one of the runners over. He did reach on a fielder's choice. I have to ask my scoring expert, Ken Stegall, that question. I don't know that I've ever had that come up. Makes a difference in your batting average whether or not that's a 0 for 0 on a sacrifice bunt or a fielder's choice, you're 0 for 1. As White gets that breaking pitch in there. Two balls and a strike to the number 8 hitter in the lineup, Luke Manning, first base. He hits a ground ball to Overbay at second base, stays down and throws to Brody Melton to retire Manning and retire the Cumberland JV squad. They score 1 run, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We're through 1.5, and the Cumberland JV lead 1-0. Tim Reese and Sam Wilson back at Volunteer State Community College. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Parker White just finished 2 innings of work. I would assume that his day is done, as Coach McGuire will want to get
Now leading off,
several
number 13, Brody Melton.
pitchers on the mound. Brody Melton will step in. White had 13 appearances this past spring, started 12, had a 5-4 record, had 1 complete game. Melton follows suit with the other 3 batters, and he It's an MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side to start the second inning. White, as I said, was second team all-conference for Vol State. There's a drive out to center field. That sends Nate Severance. Turns his back. That will one-hop the fence. Brody Melton was not going to. It didn't look like he was going to throw the anchor down. He ran hard around second base, and there's the first hit of the fall for the Pioneers, and nobody better than Brody Melton to get it. He lit the scoreboard up a year ago in the fall.
Now batting, number 18, Noah Ward.
Smoked that one to center field. Nate Severance didn't have a chance. He just started turning and running toward the fence. Noah Ward steps in. He's the DH. We also have an EH today, batting 10 in the lineup for Jim McGuire. Ward, a sophomore out of Knoxville, Tennessee, also Knoxville Catholic. He and Landon Luderman were teammates in high school. I believe Noah is actually a year older. I think he went to a post-grad for a year. Then he and Landon Luderman got here last year as freshmen. Both got in a few games. Ward was the first batter here that did not swing at the first pitch that he saw. Fouls that one off. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Noah, two-way player, pitches and play third base. 6'2", 200-pound sophomore. Got on the mound for about 9 innings as time's called. And there he is, B.A. He is talking to you like you're going to keep up with the amount of mound visits. He's actually speaking to talking about the home plate umpire. He's actually looking back at the press box thinking that the official scorer is back here. So it's actually not you. He's telling the official scorer. But it's a fall game, Braxton, and we don't have an official scorer other than me.
I was wondering about that. I thought that they were spring. I thought it was a spring season game. I didn't. I was taken aback when I heard that we were playing baseball in the fall.
Pitches up to Ward. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. Training some new folks here in the press box as well. We had Alex Qualls. Who did we have on the scoreboard last year? I think we had, was it Devin? Did you do it most of the time? So we'll have Braxton Alexander and Devin Thrain on the public address announcing. Unless Braxton takes a liking to it. I'm telling you, it might get in your blood, Braxton. That's a deep drive to center field. Back goes Severance. He is at the track and at the wall and makes the grab. Noah Ward used all of left center field that he could there. It's one out to the Jersey Mike's sign in left center field just to the right of the Toyota Gallatin scoreboard.
Now stepping to the plate, number 10.
Out number 1, Brody Melton has to stay at second base, but strong young man Noah Ward didn't have his Wheaties this morning, though, apparently. That'll bring Reggie Cooper to the plate. He's a transfer sophomore, Cleveland State a year ago. First pitch misses low and away. Reggie from Smyrna, Tennessee, and he is continuing the tradition of Stewart's Creek players here at Vol State. It's just inside. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes. A year ago, we had Caleb Hawkins and Maddox Liebrick. Who else do we have from Stewart's Creek? There's a 2-0 pitch. It's fouled down the left field line. Connor Moss. In the fall, we had Will Trapp. And before that, I think in the first year that I was here, we had 5 Stewart's Creekers. We have 2 or 3. Runner goes. Pitch is called a strike. Throw down to third base is not in time. Brody Melton picks up a stolen base. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes to Reggie Cooper, who now has the tying run on at third base. And he drives one in left field. That will get down and get by left fielder JoJo Fedoruk. Cooper will pull into second base with a stand-up RBI double, and this game is tied here in the second inning. So, doubles by Brody Melton and Reggie Cooper get the Pioneers on the board.
Number 22, Stephen Bell.
And another transfer from Alderson Broadus, school that has now been closed. Stephen Bell from Ravenwood High School, another local product that's come back home. He swings at the first pitch. That one goes between Coach McGuire and the third base bag. You will not see Jim McGuire make an actual play on a foul ball. He's learned his lesson over the years. There's no glory in trying to reach out and catch a hard hit ball. It goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Stephen Bell ran into him this past summer in the Ohio Valley League. He played for the Hoptown Hoppers. Played right field and center field. Swings it from that left side. Got a little pop to his bat. He slices one down that third baseline. This is bound for extra bases. Reggie Cooper will come in to score run number 2, and another RBI double by Stephen Bell as he got that one between Hassan and the bag down the third baseline.
Now at the plate,
3 doubles in the inning.
Nathan Aguilar.
And the Pioneers lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the second, scheduled for 7. Game 1 of the doubleheader between Vol State and the Cumberland Junior Varsity. Nathan Aguilar, freshman from Rockvale High School. He swings at the first pitch, pops that one up in the infield in foul territory. Alec Whitlock will make the grab, going toward his dugout. That is out number 2.
Now batting
Give
number
me a
6,
lot of time to talk
Drew
about Nathan
Plummer.
Aguilar, but he'll be back at the plate. He's a 5'9", 205-pound freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. As I said, Rockvale High School. Plays middle infield, can also play third base as Drew Plummer looks at maybe a changeup there in there for a called strike. Plummer, a red shirt freshman, I believe. I don't think he got in any ball games a year ago. From Spring Hill, Tennessee, went to Summit High School. Devin Thrain, former teammate of yours at Summit High School. Devin up here with the apparatus on his left arm after having Tommy John surgery, and Plummer looks at a breaking pitch just inside. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. Drew Plummer, a true utility man. Bells hops off of second base, and that pitch is fouled at the plate. Plummer playing shortstop here in game 1. Got a couple fellas from last year's team, Logan Molnar and Tyler Holsworth, who have both had labrum surgeries and will not be probably playing. One can't hit and one can't field. Holsworth, I think, will get in at DH maybe in game 2 is what I understand, so we'll see him at the plate. Logan Molnar's surgery was in May, and Tyler Holsworth was last December. And Plummer cannot hold up on one of those fastballs that were riding in on him, and he'll go down on strikes. But the Pioneers take the lead with 2 runs on 3 doubles. No errors, 1 runner left on base. We're 3-2, and the Pioneers lead 2-1. Tim Reese, Sam Wilson back in the Vol State press box, bringing you game one of today's doubleheader. Sam, student here at Vol State, is running the computer and the camera switcher today for the very first time. So doing a fantastic job. Are you having fun, Sam?
Thank you, sir. Yes, I am. I'm having a great time over here.
All right. I got a new pitcher, a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers, Noah Eatman. Sophomore pitcher from Parrish, Florida, is on the mound. Delivers the first pitch to Alec Whitlock, the catcher, the number 9 hitter in the dirt. Eatman, 28 innings a year ago as a freshman, 14 appearances. Had 1 start and a 3-1 record. Had 1 save. Had a great year as he gets a swing and miss on that fastball. And he is back for his sophomore year. Breaking pitch just missed. Must be a slider. That doesn't look like a slow breaking pitch at all. 6'1", 210 pounds. Son of Dave and Monique Eatman, and he gets a called strike there, and the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got a Papa in Inglewood and Gigi in Parrish, Florida, wearing the number 26 this fall. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Retires Alec Whitlock on strikes.
Now at the plate,
Parker
number
White
15,
goes
Brady
2
Pepper.
innings. Gives up 1 run. It was earned. Walked 2. Did not strike out a batter. He pitched to 8 batters in his 2 innings. Back at the top of the lineup, Brady Nepper stands in, and he'll look at a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Nepper flew out to center field on a full count. Pitch to lead off the ball game. Cumberland got the scoring started with 1 in the second. Swinging not sure if he tipped that one or not, but came out of Falsoni's glove behind the plate. Now down in the count 0-2 is Brady Nepper. On deck, Nate Severance. There's a line drive. It will get down in front of Reggie Cooper. The first hit of the ball game for Cumberland. Picked up by Brady Nepper.
Now hitting number 4, Nate Severance.
So Noah Eatman will look for a do-dat double play. Do-dat Communications provided signage for the press box here, and we thank Craig Sinnard for his support of Vol State baseball. He had 3 do-dat doubles in the bottom of the second inning. I'm rusty from my supporters list and neglected to tell you about the do-dat doubles, but we'll get back into the swing of things here this fall. 20 game schedule over the next, I think, 7 weeks, I guess we'll have. Then we'll have the Red-Blue World Series at the end of October. Throw over to first base. If you're new to college baseball, rules are a little bit different than professional baseball with regard to step-offs by pitchers and throw-overs. In major leagues, you can only throw over to a base 3 times. If you don't pick them off on the 3rd time, they move up a base. In college baseball, you can throw to a base as many times as you want. The problem is you can't just step off and not throw to a base. You can only do that once per batter. We'll try to let you know if there's any offenses. These umpires are watching this as well. There's also a pitch clock in college baseball. That pitch just missed somewhere, maybe outside. Count goes 3 balls and a strike. Not sure if we got our chat working or not. If you want to send a chat in on Twitter or YouTube, as that pitch has popped up in the infield. Noah Eatman will get out of the way. Brody Melton will come in between the plate and the mound. Drew Plummer headed back to second base, and Corbin Overbay handled first base. So at first, 4 guys are going after the ball, and then it looked like a choreographed dance as Brody Melton called everybody off, and everybody went to their respective areas. So out number 2 recorded on the pop out to first baseman Melton. Brings Caden Birch to the plate. He grounded out to short in the first inning. Braden Nepper still on after singling to center field. Do want to thank our sponsors, Right Rug Flooring, Kerry Gilbert, who provided and installed the carpeting up here in the press box. A friend of mine, go to rightrug.com, R-I-T-E rug.com. You can contact Kerry Gilbert at 615-487-5587. Tell him Vol State Baseball sent you. Put a whole bunch of carpet and luxury vinyl in my house last year. We don't have the top stuff up here in the press box, but we do have, it's a whole lot better than it was a year ago. We appreciate MGM Industries and Right Rug Flooring and Doodat Communications and there's Noah Eatman's one step off for this batter. If he does it again, it's a ball, I believe, on the batter. Is that right? I got 2 pitchers and a catcher. It's a balk, B-A-L-K, or a ball? Okay, we have a disagreement between 2 left-handed pitchers up here. I think it's a ball to the batter. They may call it a step-off balk. I'm not sure what they actually call it. But I think it's a ball to the batter. But we don't have it. 3 balls and a strike. 1 on, 2 outs. Now ball 4. And that will put 2 runners on. Bringing Gaines Hosson to the plate. He walked and scored in the second inning.
At bat, number 1, Gaines Hosson.
Could be Hossein. I have no idea. Honestly, we didn't get a pronunciation guide, did we, Braxton? Braxton, his inaugural game on the public address microphone and running the tunes between innings. Nice block there by Falsoni. He wants a new baseball. He thinks he's in the major leagues. Plate umpire Tim O'Day will throw it out. So apparently Lex Falsoni saw that there was 1 less stitch on that baseball. He counted them really quick there, Braxton. And so if there's 1 less, how many's on there now? Another block. Runner's going to take off to third. Throw down to third base. Not in time. Nepper almost overslid third base. Landon Luderman kept the tag on. Wild pitch will move both runners up 90 feet. So Caden Birch now down at second, and Brady Nepper is Brody Melton over to talk to Noah Eatman. Now it's a 2-ball, no strike count with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Parker White went the first 2 innings. Gave up no hits but 1 run. So he walked 2 batters. Eatman now, it's a 2-0 swing by Birch, and Cumberland Phoenix JV squad over there in the first base dugout pretty happy that Coach McGuire got some netting in front of these dugouts. That happened last fall. Line to line. Supporter provided those as that ball just sinks through the infield. 1 run is scored. To throw to the plate is not cut off, but great throw by Reggie Cooper to keep Caden Birch at third base. But The Phoenix tie the score with a 2-out
Stepping to the
RBI
plate, number 2,
by Gaines
Jackson
Hassan.
Sheffield.
Eatman almost got a glove on that one. Keep it in the infield, but not able to get it. Too wide of Drew Plummer at shortstop. That brings Jackson Sheffield to the plate, left-handed hitting second baseman. He also walked in the second. Fastball misses out. The second runners at the corners of the ball game. Runners at the corners are brought to you by Framework Athletics. There's a fastball, apparently missed a little bit up. Framework Athletics, owned by Zach Duke and Ryan McDuffie. Train where the Pioneers train when they can't get on the field. Located on Jessica Lauren Court in Hendersonville, and Eatman might have gotten a little bit rattled, giving up that run, and he's now gone 3-0 to Sheffield, who is yet to see a strike. I believe that's 7 straight wide or outside of the zone. Here's a 3-0 pitch right down the can for strike 1. Framework Athletics will also be our first run of the game sponsor. I neglected to say that. There's a pop-up into shallow left field. Drew Webster will come in. Drew Plummer goes out, and it'll be Webster that'll make the catch. 4-out number 3. The Phoenix tie the score with 1 run, with 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We are headed to the bottom of the 3rd.
Now batting, number
Lex
15,
Falsoni will
Lex
step to the
Falsoni.
plate for the Pioneers here in the 3rd inning, facing Bryant Rascal, who's on for his 3rd inning. First pitch swinging. Falsoni hits one to deep right field, sending the right fielder back, who cannot make the play, and that will drop on the warning track. And that is the 4th due-dat double of the ball game for the Pioneers. 4 hits on the afternoon, and all
Stepping in the
4
box, number 2,
extra base hits.
Corbin Overbay.
Lex Falsoni from Stewart's Creek High School, one of the 3 Creekers on the team. Reggie Cooper, Lex Falsoni, and Gage Hoover. That will bring the top of the lineup, Corbin Overbay, and he lines one out the left field. JoJo Fedoric makes the play. Hard hit ball by Overbay, who swings at the first pitch again.
Now batting, number 7, Drew Webster.
And royalty has come into the press box here. The athletic director, Bobby Hudson. You guys better shape up, okay? Because he'll hook you. You'll be out of here in no time. First pitch swinging, Drew Webster hits one just to the right of first baseman Manning, who flips to Rascal to retire Webster for the 2nd out. What was Bobby Hudson bringing up here? Was that lunch?
It's lunch for me.
Wow, Sam Wilson. I had no idea, Sam, that you knew people in high places.
At
Like
bat,
that, Bobby Hudson
number
bringing
5,
you lunch.
Landon Luderman.
Landon Luderman will step to the plate with a runner on at third base. A go-ahead run. Luderman swings and misses it. It's like that fastball of Rascals that will tail away from the left-handed hitter. Luderman grounded out to third base to end the first. He swings and misses. Appeared to be a changeup there from Rascal. Now down in the count 0-2. That pitch got away. Lex Falsoni comes in, and the flip from second baseman Alec Whitlock is not in time as the Pioneers will take the lead on the wild pitch by Bryant Rascal. 3-2. Vol State now leads. So there goes Luderman's RBI chance. Again, goes 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on now with 2 out. Landon Luderman, son of Daniel and Shannon Luderman. Got younger brother Hudson and a younger sister Easton. Nana in Louisiana and a granny in Arizona. Sophomore from Knoxville, and he will face a Full Count Ministries full count. Go to fullcountministries.com and find out all that the ministry is doing for baseball players all over the world, as well as here in Sumner County, as Luderman throws his bat right at the feet of the catcher. You know, back, JC, when I was a catcher, if a batter did that, I'd step all over his bat. I'd put dents in it. Hey, boss, don't throw your bat in my feet.
Up to bat, number 13, Brody Melton.
I don't think Landon meant to cause Whitlock any issue there, but first walk of the ball game for Bryant Matlock, or Rascal Bryant Matlock. That was close. First pitch swinging, Brody Melton lines one down the third base line foul. He hit a double to batter's eye in dead center field, one hop the wall. A year ago in the fall, probably hit about 450, probably the hottest hitter last year in the fall, and for some reason just could not carry that as he gets one deep and foul. If you're parked over there, you might want to move a little bit farther down that parking lot. That's a prime spot, but that ball right there is headed toward the library, right? No balls, 2 strikes, to Melton. Luderman on at first base with 2 outs, 1 run in. It's a line drive again. This one will go foul and hit off the fence down at the Summit Concrete bullpen down left field line. Caden Johnson. Is it Caden Johnson out to retrieve that? Hops over the fence. Showing off that athleticism down there. All you got to do is hook a spike. But you know what? It's a really good chance. Caden Johnson's not wearing his spikes yet. 0-2 pitch is high. Throw down to first base, and Luderman back in time. On deck, Noah Ward. Brody Melton got in 19 games a year ago, or last spring. Mostly as a DH. Changeup misses low and away. .49 at-bats, 11 hits, 3 doubles, a triple, had 2 long balls, 6 RBIs. 2-2 pitch, and that pitch will hit Brody Melton. Brody hit by 2 pitches a year ago. takes one in the wallet here to put runners at first and second. That will draw a visit. I assume that is Derek Lowe, the head coach for the junior varsity here for Cumberland. Need my binoculars, por favor.
How many mound visits does he get?
The question has been raised as to how many mound visits that you get. I think there are 6. I've never seen it become an issue. Braxton Alexander, who will be taking a medical red shirt this year, along with Devin Thrain, both with Tommy John surgery recently. You guys are just, what, 3 weeks, a month out, 3 weeks and a month out of surgery. So they get to spend the fall and the spring in the press box with yours truly. You guys will be so excited to get back on the field after this year. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch swinging, Noah Ward. That one hops right over the third base bag. And Gaines Hassan throws across the diamond in the dirt. That will get by, and 2 runs will score. Ward will end up at second base. I thought Hassan had a chance to just step on the base right there at third base, but he chose to throw across the diamond, and that will be a 2-base throwing error on Hassan, and both Luderman and Melton score. So that's 3 runs in the inning, 5-2. Pioneers now lead. That's the first error of the day for either team. 2 unearned runs. And that pitch is lined out to left field. That will be caught on a diving play by JoJo Fedoruk. What a great play. Reggie Cooper smoked that one. But Fedoruk laid out and made a great catch. Put a yellow star by that one for out number 3. The Pioneers score 3 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. We are through 3 innings, 5-2. Ball State leads.
Now batting.
Number 7.
Tim Reese
JoJo
and Sam
Fedoruk.
Wilson back at Vol State. Pioneers 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to take the 5-2 lead. That ball is tapped foul down the third base line. Landon Luderman down there at third base will take the opportunity to practice a bit. Throw that one on to Melton at first base, but that was just for fun. Pioneers with 4 hits on the day, all doubles, all dudette doubles. JoJo Fedoruk, who made that outstanding play to end the bottom of the 3rd at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on the left fielder. He laid down a partially sacrificed bunt as he swings and misses. And runners at first and second. Got it.
Sam Wilson here, as a somewhat baseball, a little bit of a novice. What is a dudette double?
Dudat Communications is a supporter. It's a company here in Hendersonville. And so that just has a good ring to it. Just like, well, MGM Industries foul ball doesn't necessarily roll off the tongue like a Dudat double or
Gotcha.
a Dudat double play. But it's a way to get the name of a company out when something happens. Kind of like playing bingo. That's how I treat it. So the Framework Athletics first run of the game. We have, if you put a sub in the game, we'll have the Jersey Mike's first sub of the game. I notice you're eating corn dogs here. You don't have a sub sandwich from Jersey Mike's right across the street.
No,
that ball's
I'll,
grounded to Drew Plummer.
I'll need to change that.
Throw over, and JoJo Fedoric beats that ground ball out. So Drew Plummer, a little bit new to shortstop, at least at the college level that I've seen. Maybe took a little bit too much time on that. Fedoric beats out an infield single.
Off the bat, number 26, Ben Seal.
Good question, though, Sam. That's a good question. What that means is I'm not communicating well enough. So, but you'll learn that.
I just didn't know.
Ben Sills steps to the plate. He drove in the first run of the game for Cumberland. He had a sacrifice fly, well hit ball out to center field. Reggie Cooper made the play, but Gaines Hassan, who was on third base, scored easily. I'm assuming that Ben Sills was charged with swinging at that pitch. Looked like it was outside, but Tim O'Day called that one a strike. So we got an 0-1. Even J.C. Menendez thought that was out and sliced down the right field line, but it will slice a little bit too much for Ben Sills. That's an MGM Industries foul ball. We've got some fantastic sponsors, honestly. Sam Dudat Communications, Craig Senard over. He's also down that same industrial park where Framework Athletics is located. Summit Concrete, Chuck Akers, a former player of Coach McGuire over at MTSU. Another one sliced down toward the maintenance shed. Count goes no ball, stays no balls, 2 strikes. Some have signs out on the outfield wall. There's hit after hit in game time sports fields. Runner goes, pitches high, throw down to second base, is gloved, and the tag is made by Corbin Overbay on JoJo Fedoric. So he's caught stealing. Must have had a bad jump there as that throw. Not the best throw, but 1 out. That's right. Yeah, that's the first out. That's what he's telling us. 2-4 on the caught stealing. So Lex Falsoni's first caught stealing as that ball's hit down to Luderman at third base by Sills. Luderman throws a dart to Brody Melton at first to retire Ben Sills. So now 2 out.
Now batting, number 14, Luke
Here
Manning.
in the top of the 4th inning, Noah Eatman out for his 2nd inning of work. Luke Manning, senior at Cumberland, will step to the plate, grounded out to second base. In the 2nd, Eatman, not sure if that's a slider right there. That's ball outside. Now goes 2 balls and no strikes. Drew Webster in left, Reggie Cooper in center, Stephen Bell, who's not had any action out in right field. Landon Luderman at third, Drew Plummer at second, or at short, Corbin Overbay at second. That is tapped foul at the plate. May have got a piece of foul Sony as Tim O'Day is checking on him right now. Brody Melton at first, and that is Lex Falsoni, the true freshman, behind the plate. Everybody else out on the field is a sophomore or a redshirt freshman. Got a couple catchers who are injured. J.C. Menendez, who's Got a hand injury up here in the press box. He won't get any action today. Not sure how many more weeks before he gets back out and starts taking batting practice and getting time behind the plate. 3-1 is fouled off. With 2 outs, nobody on, we'll have a full count Ministries full count. Full count pitch, 2 outs. Breaking pitch, swung on and missed. Nice pitch by Noah Eatman. He gets his second strikeout. That should end the day for Eatman. In this inning, he gives up 1 hit, but the caught stealing will retire the 3 batters that he faces in the 4th. Pioneers still lead here in game 1, 5-2. Welcome back to Vol State Community College on campus here in Gallatin, Tennessee. About 20 miles northeast of Nashville, Tennessee. If you're not familiar, I would assume that most of the folks who are listening are Pioneer fans and Cumberland fans. I would assume most of the players on the Cumberland roster are also from Middle Tennessee or Tennessee at least. So you're probably familiar with where Gallatin is, but might be that one or 2 of you that not that familiar with it and don't want to get you to Googler.
Number 22, Stephen Bell.
And by the way, if you are joining us online, feel free to comment. Leave us a note if you want to.
YouTube or Twitter. See if we can find out who our first live chatter is. Let's see.
We don't have any yet, I don't think.
I got a Pamela Wilson. Who's Pamela Wilson, Sam?
Oh, Pamela Wilson will be my mother. Hello, Mom.
There you
How's
go.
it going?
There she is, the first one of the fall. Pamela, good to have you. Oh, well, maybe Cadro got it. I think that's Kate Sanders checking in. I assume Cadro. Kate Sanders now over at Tusculum University. Right-handed pitcher from right here in Hendersonville, Tennessee. So, Kate Sanders, Pamela Wilson, thanks for sending in a chat as Stephen Bell will look at a strike right down the can as he tosses this bat away. Not sure where Stephen thought that pitch was. Maybe he thought it was a little bit low. Bell had a line drive double down the third base line that just stayed fair. One of 4 doubles on the day, but he'll take the 3-1 pitch outside for ball 4, first walk. The first batter that our new pitcher,
Now batting,
Grant Charlton,
21, Nathan Aguilar.
who was in relief of Bryant Rascal, who went 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, 3 were earned, walked 1, struck out 2, and also hit a batter. Nathan Aguilar, who swung the first pitch he saw, popped out to the catcher, Alec Whitlock. Steps in with 1 on and nobody out. He won't have a chance to swing at that pitch. It was in the left-handed batter's box. Aguilar just found out today that his parents are from Managua, Nicaragua, which means something to me as a supporter and somebody's been on mission trips with the Full Count Ministries. Breaking pitch, like that must have fooled Alec Whitlock. He was coming out of his catching stance as though that was going to be a fastball high, and stood up, ends up catching it around belt high. Breaking pitch stayed high. Count goes 2-0. Aguilar from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Rockvale High School, true freshman. He swings and pops that one up to the right side. That might be trouble for Ben Sills. He comes in, and that the wind blowing that one a little bit toward foul territory. It falls untouched, and Aguilar will be alive for another pitch. Looking to drive that top hand a little bit more. He's popped 2 balls off to the right side. Powerful young man right here in a 5'9" frame. Wind blowing in a little bit. Step off throw to first base, and Bell is back. Bell was stranded at second base in the 2nd inning after his RBI double. You can hear the wind out there in our field mic through the MGM Industries windows. Another pitch stays high. Grant Charlton struggling to find the strike zone. Second batter in a row that he's gone 3 balls and a strike. See if Bell's running on this, and he is. He's off. Pitches outside. He'll slide into second base, but will not be credited with a stolen base as Aguilar walks. That puts runners at first and second, and Drew Plummer steps to the plate. He had a check swing strikeout to end the 2nd against Bryant Rascal.
Stepping to the plate, number 6.
5'11", 160-pound redshirt freshman is Drew Plummer. Williamson County, isn't that right, Devin? Williamson County down there at Summit High School. Looks at a pitch outside. Charlton is a freshman for the Phoenix. Nice crowd here at Tim Garrett Baseball Complex. There's a ground ball, could be 2. Shortstop bobbles and will only be able to get 1. That ball came up on Brady Nepper. He ends up getting a handle on it and flips over to Jackson Sheffield for the force out of Aguilar.
Now batting,
And that
number
puts
15,
runners
Lex
at the
Falcone.
corners, a line to line. Runners at the corners. Stephen Dotson at line to line. They put the netting and the padding out in front of the dugout and surrounding the bullpens. Beautiful aesthetics here at the ballpark, as well as safety features. There's a ground ball to second. That'll be tough to turn 2 on. And the throw from Sheffield goes into left field. 1 run scores. Bell was going to score on that anyway. So Falsoni with a ground ball to second base, gets an RBI and reaches on the error.
Up to bat, number 2, Corbin Overbay.
Fielder's choice. Error by Sheffield. puts Plummer at second base. Stephen Bell comes in to score the 6th run of the ball game for Vol State. And Corbin Overbay steps in for his 3rd at-bat. He's 0 for 2. Looking for his first knock of the fall. He swings and drives one out to left field where he hit one last time, and that'll be caught by Fedoruk. So first pitch swinging for the 3rd straight at-bat for Corbin Overbay. I don't say that as a
Stepping into the box,
critique.
number 7, Drew
It's just an observation.
Webster.
So Drew Webster will get a chance at driving in a 2-out run. So 2 errors now for the Phoenix. Otherwise, this inning would be over. Webster also 0 for 2 as Charlton steps off, fakes his throw to second base. There's his one, as they call it, a disengagement of the rubber for this batter. He can do that once without any penalty. Webster also aggressive, swings at the first pitch, fouls that one straight back. Inning started with 2 walks, then a fielder's choice, or 2 fielder's choices. Brought in the first walk, Stephen Bell. Now runners at first and second when kicking up from center field toward right field. Breaking pitch lands at Webster's feet. Six runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Pioneers. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Phoenix from Cumberland University here in Lebanon. About 30 minutes east as Plummer fouls that one off and toward the tree line, an MGM Industries foul ball. As I said, Joe Gaskins, former Motlow State basketball player and coach, friend of mine, happy to help the Pioneers. Took out the old windows here in the press box and put in 4 custom windows. There's a pitch right down the can. Webster fooled on that one, and Charlton gets a backwards K to end the 4th inning. Pioneers with 1 run, no hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. Through 4 innings, the Pioneers lead 6-2. Tim Reese, Sam Wilson back at Vol State. We have a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Left-handed pitcher Caden Johnson on in relief. A redshirt sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama, Sparkman High School down there in Sam Wilson territory in Huntsville, Alabama. Just about an hour and I'm going to say 40 minutes away. Does that sound about right to you?
You're a little bit wrong on that, actually.
No? I'm wrong?
It is. It's about a 2-hour drive from Nashville to Huntsville. It's about a 2:15, 2:20, maybe 2:30, depending on traffic from Huntsville to Gallatin.
Okay.
A little bit longer, but still not that bad of a drive.
I must have a lead foot then, because I make Decatur in 2 hours, and Huntsville's closer than Decatur.
Well, somewhat, but you also have to think that Decatur's right on 65 as well.
That is
to get
true.
to Huntsville, you either have to take 565 or you take 53 south from Ardmore. So you're not always on interstate, so you go a little bit slower.
Okay. Caden Johnson, 1-1 count to Alec Whitlock. There's a swing and a miss. Number 9 hitter in the Cumberland lineup. He struck out swinging in the third. Count now goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. The only Buc-ee's I've ever been to right there off I-65. Uh-oh. Sam's got something to say about Buc-ee's, man. I know he's been to that Buc-ee's.
Man, they're popping up everywhere. I've been to that one. I've been to the one in Crossville, and they just opened one in Sevierville, I heard. I haven't been to that one yet, but I'll make my way out there someday.
Yeah. That is a bloop single. It's going to be turned into a double by Alec Whitlock. He reached out and just touched that fastball and lifted it over third baseman Landon Luderman's head and dropped down that left field line. Drew Webster had a long way to go to get to it, and by the time he got up, throw to second base, Alec Whitlock in there with a double. Their first extra base hit of the ball game. He will be replaced by a courtesy runner. Didn't catch the number on who that is out there running. It brings the top of the lineup, Brady Nepper, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Johnson pitched a fastball in that outside corner for a called strike. Number 16 out there, Christian. It says Kristen. Maybe, I don't know if it's Christian or Kristen. Christan on the roster. Mason, a freshman. I'm going to say that's a typo. Say that's Christian Mason. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Phoenix shortstop. Had a line drive, base hit up the middle in the 3rd inning. Ended up coming around to score on Gaines Hassan's single. There's a pitch at the letters that I think Nepper thought was probably just a little high. Called a strike. So nobody out. Caden Johnson, the 3rd pitcher on for the Pioneers. Here's Parker White, went 2 innings. Noah Eatman, 2 innings. Fastball misses away. Lex Falsoni catching them all. No other changes in the field for Vol State. Just joining us, we're playing 2 7-inning contests today. Midweek game in Lebanon to face the same Cumberland Phoenix JV squad on the 13th. I believe that's Wednesday. It's a time violation, and that is a ball. So the count goes to full count to the batter. So Caden Johnson taking too much time out there on the mound to deliver the pitch. Johnny Lowry, the base umpire. There's a strike 3 called right on the inside corner. Nice pitch by Caden Johnson. Might have been a little bit of anger on that pitch right there, I think.
Now batting, number 4, Nate Severance.
First strikeout for Johnson and 1 out here in the 5th. Started at 81 degrees. It felt like of 84 here as we started today's contest. It's gone up 1 degree. Breaking pitch in the dirt that Nate Severance could not hold up on. He swings, comes up empty. He's popped out to the second baseman and popped out to the first baseman in his 2 plate appearances thus far. Johnson looks back at second to the pinch runner or courtesy runner. Delivers a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. Severance now down in the count 0-2. Caden Johnson played for the Pioneers in 2022. Was on the squad in the fall and the spring. Took a year off last year and is back with the Pioneers for his sophomore year. Pitch is outside. Runner takes off toward third, and that is the second stolen base of third. So that was a ball outside. And 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Christian Mason with the stolen base. With 1 out, he's standing down there at third base. I don't know what the percentages are, but I bet it's pretty high. He's scoring from third base with 1 out as opposed to scoring from second base with 1 out. That breaking pitch just missed high to Nate Severance. So Johnson now looking for another infield pop-up or a strikeout. And gets an MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side just before the maintenance shed. Past the first base stands. Got some fans down in that area. Somebody's even put up a pop-up tent down on the other side of the Cumberland dugout. There's a pitch right down the can. Nate Severance locked up on that one, so 2 backward Ks in the books.
Number 23, Caden Birch.
Caden Johnson now has 2 outs with that runner at third base after giving up the bloop double down the left field line. Struck out Nepper and struck out Severance. That brings the 3-hole hitter DH Caden Birch to the plate. 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. He swings and lifts one down the right field line toward the Phoenix bullpen, but it will fall with Brody Melton and Stephen Bell giving chase. Bell throws that one into the Phoenix bullpen for some reason. We're just giving baseballs away over here. The next one's probably going to go in the stands. Thinks he's in the major leagues. A $9 baseball, Stephen Bell, you just gave to the other team. Nah, it pitches in the dirt, and Lex Falsone didn't have a prayer on that breaking pitch. There's a lot of spin on that breaking pitch of Caden Johnson's. Christian Mason comes in to score on the wild pitch. What's that, Braxton?
It's like we're growing money on these trees out.
And I'm cutting them down, right?
Yeah.
Better quit. Don't cut down the branches on the money tree, right, Braxton? Phoenix now down by 3, 6-3 here in the top of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. And that is, thought that was strike 3.
I thought it was too.
A foul ball off to the right side. That was a 1-1 count, I guess. So now it's a 1-2 count. Another MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side.
Way out of there.
2 outs. Nobody on. Top of the 5th. Cumberland single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and here in the 5th inning thus far. Pioneers 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. Caden Johnson's first inning of work in a pretty long time, I guess. Not sure if he threw this summer or not. Wind picking up. There's a fastball that misses high, and we'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Caden says he doesn't like that baseball. Caden, don't throw it out to Stephen Bell. Caden's parents down in Huntsville, Alabama, Joe and Shayna Johnson. Back for second year. See them at the ball games a couple of years ago. It's always good to see them as he misses with that full count pitch to Birch, 2-out walk. Appearance by Logan Molnar out of the Vol State dugout.
Number 1, Gaines Austin.
Handing some baseballs to Tim O'Day, our home plate umpire. Vol State softball not playing any scrimmage today at all. I'm not sure when their fall season begins, but currently an interim coach, Christian Lynn, the son of longtime coach Johnny Lynn, who's now the head men's basketball coach here at Vol State. They have posted the head softball coach job, and about 20 folks have put in for that position as Caden Johnson gets the first 2 pitches in there to Gaines Hassan, who's been on base both plate appearances, walked in the second and scored, singled and drove in a run in the third. Pioneers looking to retire him for the first time with 2 out and 1 on here in the top of the 5th inning. That fastball is high and outside. So Johnny Lynn, he's been at Vol State almost as long as, I believe, as athletic director Bobby Hudson, both here in the mid-'80s. Johnny Lynn, former baseball and basketball player at Auburn University, also played his high school baseball here at Beach High School in Hendersonville as Caden Johnson strikes out the 3 batters that were retired here, but gave up a double and a walk in between as the Phoenix score 1 run on 1 hit, scored on a wild pitch, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We are through 4.5 innings. Pioneers lead 6-3. Landon Luderman will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning as you see volunteer assistant coach Shane Kemp heading down to first base. Former player for Coach McGuire over at MTSU. He's in his first year with the Pioneer program. Currently handling pitchers and outfielders, infielders as that ball is lifted out to left field. JoJo Fedoric will move now over toward the fair line and make the catch. Initially looked like he was camped under it and then took about 12 quick steps toward the line to make the grab. First pitch swinging Landon Luderman, who's now 0 for 2.
Up to bat, number 13, Brody
Melton steps in. He's been on base both times he's been to the plate. He had a double. One hopped the center field fence and scored in the second, and was hit by a pitch and scored in the third. And he pops one off to the right side. That should get out of play. And just missed the fans in the aluminum stands to the right down that first base line.
I was going to say, there's someone over there with an umbrella. They almost had to use it that time.
For more than just shading the sun, right, Sam? Noah Ward on deck. Melton drives one to right field. This should be down and extra bases again. Brody Melton will round second base. The cutoff man's throw not in time. Brody Melton in with a head first slide at third base with a triple.
And a nice little victory dance over there as well.
Yeah.
He earned that one.
Brody Melton continues his torrid hitting in the fall.
Stepping to the plate, number 18.
From a year ago, he's now 2 for 2. On base average of 1,000, a double, a triple, a hit bat. Our hit batter, Noah Ward, steps to the plate. He's looking for his first hit of the fall. Brody Melton, the excitable boy. That's a deep drive. Noah Ward, I'm sorry, off the end of the bat. I thought that was going way out to left center. Melton bluffs a throw. I had the bar right here by the window that kept me from seeing where that trajectory of that ball was going to go. I thought Ward got a hold of that one, but shallow fly ball to left field instead.
Stepping in the box, number 10.
So an error on the broadcaster there. That's probably 6 or 7 so far, Sam. But we don't keep track of that in the scorebook. 2 outs. Reggie Cooper steps in. He swings at the first pitch. Fouls it out of the glove of Alec Whitlock.
You know, as you said, this isn't ESPN, so we're allowed to make small mistakes as long as we correct them.
That's right. Folks who are back for year number 2, or possibly year number 3, Alex Qualls, they've heard this one before. It ain't ESPN, but it's better than nothing, Sam. That's one of my mottos, okay? I've got a few of them. Reggie Cooper from Stewart's Creek High School, sophomore transfer from Cleveland State, steps in, looks at a ball outside. He's looking for a 2-out RBI. He had an RBI double in the second. Drove in Brody Melton, looking to do it again here in the 5th. As Grant Charlton gets a called strike, and toe picks out there on the mound. You know what? It's a whole lot less embarrassing when you get a strike called, even if you fall down on the mound. 1-2 pitch now to Cooper. Pitch drops below the knees there. Melton with a triple to the right field line, standing at third base. 2-2 pitch. This is high and outside. Cooper's taking his leg off. Okay, apparently we had a wrong count up there.
Now batting, number 22, Stephen Bell.
We're all getting it worked out, aren't we, JC? So a walk, a 2-out walk, puts runners at the corners, a line-to-line runners at the corners. Third walk by Charlton, and he's got him picked off, but he throws it over the head of Luke Manning, and Reggie Cooper might try to score. He will not. He'll move over to third base on the errant throw by the pitcher as a third baseman. It looks like he's trying to push Cooper off the bag. I'm not sure if they know each other or what's going on, but so a run comes in. Brody Melton scores on the error by the pitcher, and Stephen Bell has to move his head out of the way of that pitch.
That's exactly what got me out of baseball. When I used to play, I got hit too many times. I was done after, I think, the third or fourth hit in a season.
Yeah, that'll deter. We're right back where we were when Reggie Cooper was at the plate. 2 outs and a runner at third base. Stephen Bell now has a 3-0 count. So an unearned run brings in Melton. Here's a strike called. This time Stephen does not toss his bat away. Three-one pitch. That's in on the inside corner. And Stephen, you'll need that bat for the full count pitch, brought to you by Full Count Ministries. Full Count will have its celebration banquet on Tuesday, September 26th at Long Hollow Church. 3-2 pitch called, strike 3. As maybe Tim O'Day might have been a little bit upset that Stephen Bell's wanting to toss the bat away too many times there. But second strikeout by Charlton. And Pioneers are through with the 5th inning. They do score 1 unearned run on 1 hit, 1 costly error, and 1 runner left on base. We are through 5. Pioneers lead 7-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese, Sam Wilson producing the first game of the fall. Sam, a freshman here at Vol State, his first experience with the Vol State Pioneer fall schedule. We move to the top of the 6th inning. Caden Johnson back out for his 2nd inning of work. Delivers a strike to Jackson Sheffield. 5-hole hitter, second baseman for the Cumberland Phoenix JV squad. That one just misses a bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hitting Jackson Sheffield. Fouled off to the left side. That will get probably outside the fenced area, if maybe into the parking lot, as some concerned fans are looking over, wondering if that got out to their vehicle. Always am amazed at how close people will park their car to a baseball field. JC, you right out there? Huh? All these baseball guys. Carter Vrabel used to park his car right down here by the steps, just past the third base dugout, and I thought, why in the world do you park your car there?
No trust in the baseball gods. No fear.
There, JC, there ain't but one God. He likes baseball like he likes football and basketball. He don't care as that breaking pitch gets in there for a called strike. Beautiful pitch by Caden Johnson.
Now
to
batting,
set down
number
Jackson
7,
Sheffield. That's his fourth strikeout. Third by way of Looking. JoJo Fedoric steps to the plate. He's got a hit in 2 plate appearances, the left fielder for the Cumberland Phoenix. There are a row of pretty wide or thick pine trees that line Tim Garrett Baseball Complex as you come into the complex right along the fence row. So that probably keeps some baseballs away from some of the cars parked right up next to the complex, but it looked like a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Luderman will come and pick up that ball that got away from Caden Johnson. No changes in the defense for head coach Jim McGuire. Fall State, third pitcher for the Pioneers. Fastball misses inside. Ben Sills standing on deck for the Phoenix. I think the fall schedule is probably online at ballstate.edu. Go to the athletic site and drill down to the baseball site. Somebody told me they saw the fall schedule on there. I've got it handy here. I'll tell you some of the upcoming games. 2-2 pitch coming to Fedoric. And he looks at a pitch on the outside corner. Another strikeout Looking.
Stepping to the plate,
Caden Johnson
Ben Seal.
has given up a double, a walk, and struck out 5 in his inning and 2/3. Ben Sills sacrifice fly and a ground out. Stepping to the plate, he's playing right field for Cumberland. MGM Industries foul ball off. It's back in the area that I did a little cleanup work with the use of a friend of mine, Amos Blake. Borrowed his pole chainsaw and did some cleanup work here around Tim Garrett Baseball Complex. Nice breaking pitch catches the inside corner. Kate Johnson, he is talking to himself, shaking his head out there as he circled the mound, interior part of the mound. Looks like he is gearing up for an 0-2 pitch here. He might step on one here. Fastball misses high and away. Got some internal motivation going on in the head of Caden Johnson. I don't think I've seen that young man look like he's depressed at any point in time. He's got a smile on his face, or just seems like he's enjoying life most of the time. Pioneers will be right back here a week from today to play the junior varsity squad of Lindsey Wilson up in Kentucky. Game time 1 o'clock. And then a midweek game. Pioneers will travel to Western Kentucky in Bowling Green. That 1-2 pitch misses high to play Southwest Illinois Community College for a 9-inning contest at WKU. That'll start at 5 o'clock. We will have the broadcast on the road. Lord willing, and the internet works.
That's always the...
You got to count on the creator, but you also have to count on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Bobby Hudson, we should have a good internet hotspot as 2-2 pitch breaking outside. Lex Falsone keeps that one from the backstop, and we'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Nobody on. 2 outs, all by strikeout. Caden Johnson delivers a fastball inside. Ben Sills will reach for the first time today. His second walk by Johnson. And Luke Manning will step to the plate. First baseman for Cumberland. He's 0
Now
for
batting,
2.
number 14, Luke Manning.
Thanks for joining us on the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and on Twitter. If you'd like to send in a chat, I don't know if we've had any chats on Twitter or not. Several of you are watching. That pitch gets away inside, and that will move Sills down to second base on the wild pitch. Got about 20 of you watching on YouTube. There's a fastball in there on the inside corner for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Luke Manning with catcher Alec Whitlock on deck. Scheduled for 7 innings here in game 1. 30-minute period between games, and we'll start game 2. They're going to throw down to second base. Drew Plummer had the daylight play on at second base. Johnson spun around, and looks like maybe Ben Sills might have hurt himself out there at second base. Time called, and Johnny Lowry, the base umpire, as guessing that is Derek Lowe, third base coach, the JV coach, will go out. An all-world trainer, Justin McKinney, has made his first appearance onto the field. The athletic trainer here, 12 years. Braxton Alexander knows Justin well, I would assume, as he walks around with whatever that device is called on his left arm after having Tommy John surgery. A telescope brace, okay. Justin out there checking on Ben Sills. Not sure if he jammed his hand. Going back to the bag. Justin handles all 4 sports here at Vol State. Softball, baseball, and both men's and women's basketball. He is a busy, busy man. Weekends, nights. Looks like Ben Sills is going to go ahead and come out of the game. We'll have a pinch runner. And apparently the pinch runner extraordinaire, Christian Mason, back out to take Sills' spot. Rules are relaxed here in the fall with regard to substitutions and things like that. Pioneers are batting 10 here in, and probably will do that in every fall game just to get more players in the ball game. Phoenix only batting 9 today, but 1 ball, 1 strike count. There's a fastball that misses down low. 2 outs. Now after the 2-out walk, Caden Johnson, that delay right there, probably not what he was looking for. He in a pretty good groove with those first 2 strikeouts looking, but walked Ben Sills. And he puts one down the middle there for a 2-2 count to Luke Manning. It'll be interesting to see here if Luke Manning happened to drive in this run with 2 outs, and then Alec Whitlock, who's up next, gets on base. Would Christian Mason go out and pinch run for him again? He might be a pinch runner for 2 different batters in 1 inning. Might set a record. We have a Full Count Ministries full count. Thanks to Reed Glover and Josh Carmen over at Full Count Ministries for their support of Pioneer baseball and baseball here in the Sumner County, and also down in Birmingham, as the third strikeout of the innings. Luke Manning goes down swinging. 6 strikeouts in the 2 innings that Caden Johnson has towed the rubber. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We are headed to the bottom of the lead, 7-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese, Sam Wilson, back for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Pioneers have their way. It'll be the last time they bat here in Game 1. We'll do effort to find out the name of the new pitcher for Cumberland Phoenix. There's not a number 22 on the roster, but there is a Wyatt Gateline that we asked the fans out here if they knew who it was, and somebody said they thought it was Wyatt Gateline. Gateline, spelled G-U-E-T-H-L-E-I-N. Nathan Aguilar, a 1-1 pitch, fouls one down there where Reed Mashinsky's standing by the maintenance shed with a bat in his hand. Must be going to go down and take some swings in the batting cage on past the right field line. Count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The ground ball to shortstop. Nepper up with it over to first base, and Aguilar looked like he was going to beat that out. I think that's a base hit for Nathan Aguilar. A softly hit ground ball to the shortstop. And Aguilar hustling down the first base line. I'm not sure that a good throw would have got him. That throw was a little bit in the dirt, but leadoff single for Aguilar. Drew Plummer steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He swings and fouls one at the plate. Playing shortstop today for Game 1. Appreciate head JV coach Derek Lowe getting us a roster today. Actually texted it to me, and I had to ask athletic director Justin McKinney if we could use their printer in there to print this off for the press box. Just doesn't show a number 22 on here. but it does show 224s. That's what the problem is, BA. Throw down to first base, and Aguilar is back. Drew Plummer wearing number 6 here this fall. Last spring, that was a number of sophomore relief pitcher Landon Tucker, LT, also known as Lieutenant, from down in LaGrange, Georgia. Got to spend some good quality time with LT and Country Cade McKee, Quick Cade Sanders, Ethan Huddleston. As the runner goes, swing and a miss. Apparently was a hit and run. Throw down by Alec Whitlock was right on the bag. And that will take care of Nathan Aguilar, who's caught stealing. We're out number 1, and Plummer has a 1 or 2 ball, 2 strike count now with nobody on. Ground ball softly hit to third. Hassan over to Manning at first base for the second out.
Up to bat, number 15, Lex Falsone.
We got, is that Ileana Menendez? JC, you know, all right. We got another mama checking in. Is that checking? Is that, I can't tell if that's YouTube or I assume it is. Well, hello to Ileana Menendez in Miami. What's the suburb? Aren't you, you're from Miami, right? Okay, but do you say Miami or do you say, you do? Not a suburb. Okay, all right. JC says hello and he loves you very, very much. Send money. He wants more food. 3 balls, no strikes. Lex Falsone, who's got a double, an RBI, and a run scored. And he looks at a 3-0 pitch right down the can from Wyatt Gateline. Grant Charlton goes 2 innings. One pitch inside, and Falsone will reach on the walk.
Now batting.
After an infield single by Nathan Aguilar, Whitlock, catcher threw Aguilar out trying to steal on a hit and run. It's a high fastball. Plummer unable to get the bat on it. There's a shot by Overbay, who for the 4th time has swung at that first pitch. He loves that first pitch. He's 0 for 3. 2 fly outs to left field and a strikeout to begin the ball game. Corbin looking for his first hit of the fall. From Sevier County over there in East Tennessee. Dollyland. Pops one up to right field. And second baseman Sheffield will get over and make the catch in fair territory for out number 3 to retire the Pioneers. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We are headed to the top of the 7th. We're scheduled for 7. Pioneers trying to hold on to a 7-3 win. Move to the top of the 7th. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Move to the top of the 7th inning. We'll have a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for Vol State. Freshman Trent Miller will be the 4th pitcher on for head coach Jim McGuire. Trent Miller, 6'4", 225-pound right-hander from Greenbrier High School in Greenbrier, Tennessee. He is on for his first outing of his collegiate career. He will pitch what he hopes is just 1 inning here in game 1. We are just past the 2-hour mark here for this ball game. That started right at 1 o'clock. Pioneers have put up 7 runs. I believe only 5 of those are earned.
Top of the second, number 18, Alec Whitlock.
Caden Johnson went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, a run. It was earned, walked 2, struck out 6 batters. Here in the 7th, to face Trent Miller is 9-1-2 of the Cumberland lineup. First pitch fastball high to Alec Whitlock, who was 1 for 2. He had a bloop double down the left field line. Looks like the 3 o'clock train's here, Sam. Popped up. That might be playable over toward the Phoenix dugout, and that will just get out of play. Lex Falsoni and Brody Melton converge there at the on-deck circle. Brody ran about 110 feet right there. On deck, Brady Nepper. Game 2 will start approximately 30 minutes after this one ends. Another MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side. We'll have an entire new defense out there for Vol State. Breaking pitch tapped and thought it was in front of the plate. Optical illusion there. But it was right where Tim O'Day, the home plate umpire, vacated. He was getting out of that way of that one. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got a few fans out beyond the left field fence. Brought their chairs and tent. We got another foul ball that will get out of play. If you come to the ballpark and you see the sign out in left field, it's got the name Schrum and the number 8 says no regrets. That is in honor of Hayden Schrum, a former player for Vol State. Played back, I believe, in the late 2007-8, I think. There's a softly hit ground ball to Brody Melton that kicks to his right. That was right off the end of the bat. Trent Miller goes to cover the base, and Brody does not throw the ball. So Whitlock will reach on the error. Brody Melton, first error of the ball game for the Pioneers, but that's a tough play right there by Melton. That ball right off the end of the bat looked like it was cued down to first base. He thought it was coming right to him, and next thing he knows, it takes a right turn as he saw it. 1 on, nobody out, and Nepper steps to the plate. Breaking pitch misses inside. Head coach Jim McGuire in his 3rd years. Miller throws over to first. 26 years with MTSU, 6 as the head coach. 20 under head coach Steve Peterson over there at MTSU. And Miller, Nepper, not real happy about getting hit with that one. Throws his bat down in disgust, and it cartwheels over to the on-deck circle. Nate Severance has to elude the rolling bat.
Number 4, Nate Severance.
So runners now at first and second. That doesn't typically feel good right there, getting drilled with a upper 80s fastball in the middle of the back. But neither does a cartwheeling bat. There's another one high and tight. That'll get by Lex Falsoni, and both runners will move up on that wild pitch. So that will get the first visit from Shane Kemp to come out and talk to Trent Miller and try to settle him down a little bit. Give me time to tell you about the fundraising, brick fundraiser that the Vol State Pioneers baseball team has. They are collecting $100 for players and former players like Landon Tucker. He could donate $100 and have his name and his position in the years that he played here at Vol State, and they are going to make a pavilion just inside the fence and put a brick patio down. I think they have about 40 already purchased. They want to get 100 bricks purchased. I think they're going to start work on that this year to have that patio made. So if you want to get your son or grandson a brick with his name and years of service to the Vol State baseball program and have that a memorial for years to come, then you can contact Greg Butch Hunter at hunterpack@comcast.net. That ball's popped up straight back behind the press box. Hunter, Hunter, Pack, P-A-C-K, at comcast.net, or you can contact Athletic Director Bobby Hudson or Head Coach Jim McGuire for more information about getting a brick made. They're going to make another order here soon, I believe. 2 balls and 1 strike to Nate Severance with 2 on and nobody out, as that ball's right down the middle of the plate. Severance took it like it was a 3-0 pitch. Not sure what he was looking for there, but maybe Trent Miller has hit or come close to hitting enough players that Severance wasn't thinking there was going to be one down the middle, and that one a little bit high and tight. Brings us to a full count. Ministries full count. Severance 0 for 3. Trent Miller looking for a strikeout here in the top of the 7th inning. Pioneers lead 7-3. Scheduled for 7 innings here in game 1, and there's a fastball high, and Miller lost Severance, and the bases are now loaded. So an error, a hit batter, and a walk.
Stepping to the plate, number 23, Caden Burke.
Sure, Coach McGuire has the pitching lineup already mapped out in terms of what innings people are going to be pitching, but if Trent Miller runs into some trouble here, I see Caden Blackford getting loose down in the Pioneer bullpen. Pitch is low and outside as Falsoni has to smother that one to keep it from going to the backstop. So bases are loaded, nobody out here in the 7th inning. The tying run is at the plate, and that is Caden Birch, the DH and 3-hole hitter for the Phoenix. This ball misses up. Trent Miller's body language right now is not at all positive. He's gone 2-0 to the right-handed hitting designated hitter, Gaines Hassan, on deck. Another block by Falsoni, and the count will go 3 balls and no strikes. Miller is coming off of an injury of some sort. I don't know the exact details of it, but don't think that he had Tommy John a year and a half ago. I mean, it's been a while, right? He did not pitch his senior year at Greenbrier, right? Still working back, and that's why he's only scheduled at least for 1 inning, but I'm sure there's a pitch count there, and he will walk in a run, and it may be all. Coach McGuire will let him go, and that is exactly what's happening. Coach McGuire out of the dugout, and he is the coach that will make the change. So we will take a break, and then we'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete called to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Caden Blackford on in relief of Trent Miller. Caden Blackford, a redshirt freshman, 6'2", 175 pounds, from White House, Tennessee. Attended White House High School. Right-handed pitcher, the son of Jeff and Kim Blackford. Brother to Alexa and Davis. Alexa's older sister and older brother Davis. Has a pop in Ridgetop and a Nana in Foley, Alabama. Ridgetop is in Tennessee, just up between Goodlettsville and Greenbrier. Caden Blackford gets his first
Now batting, number 1, James
work
Austin.
of the fall. He comes into a bases loaded, nobody out situation, and he's facing 4, 5, and 6 in the Cumberland lineup. 1 run has scored in this inning. So 7-4 is the score. Trent Miller, a tough beginning to his college career. There's the first pitch on that outside corner river for a called strike. Good start by Caden Blackford. Fifth pitcher for the Pioneers. Parker White, Noah Eatman, Caden Johnson go the first 2, and there's strike 2 to Hassan, who is 1 for 2. Walk and a run scored, and a single and an RBI. Struck out in the 5th. Blackford looking for a strikeout or a ground ball to a middle infielder. Or maybe right back to him where you can start a 1-2-3 double play. Haven't had a do that double play yet. Fastball high and tight. Nice spot for that pitch. Blackford on the squad a year ago. Fall and spring. Did not get into any games in the spring, so took the red shirt. And back. See if he can get out on the mound this year, as that one fouled straight back. 4 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for Cumberland. 7 runs, 6 hits, now 1 error here in the first game for Vol State. Looks like Blackford might have tried to step on a fastball right there and overthrew. That one down in the dirt. Falsoni's been excellent on balls in the dirt. Down goes 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Phoenix third baseman, Gaines Hassan. Breaking pitch misses away. We'll have a full count. Ministries full count. $16 teams in the full count high school fall league, a Woodbat fall league here in Sumner County. Played at Beach High School, Station Camp, and over at Drakes Creek Park 2 nights a week. There's a line drive into right field. Stephen Bell has that one just go over his head, and that one goes to the wall. 2 runs have scored. And Hassan, a 2-run double to right field. Bell looked like it's his first play really out there all day and might have just misjudged it a hair, but a hard hit ball just over or through his outstretched glove, or just to the side of the outstretched glove. Would have been a tough play to make, but 2 runs come in, and
Number 2, Jackson Sheffield.
Runners now at second and third. And a 7-6 lead now. Jackson Sheffield steps in. He looks at a pitch called strike 1. Pioneers now with a slim 1-run lead.
Not to mention no outs.
That's right. No outs, and go-ahead run is on at second base. Sheffield walked into second, flew out into third, and struck out looking in the 6th. Pioneers are playing back, not trying to cut the runner off at the plate. Caden Birch, standing at third base. That's the first hit of the inning. 5 batters in. Error on to allow the first batter to reach. That ball's lifted out to center field. Reggie Cooper back, and now he comes in hard, and he drops the ball. The runner will score. Throw down to third base is not in time. Throw back to second base will get the greedy Sheffield. So an 8-5-4 will retire Sheffield, who reaches on an error by Reggie Cooper. But Sheffield is retired for the first out. We have a tie ball game. And the runner, the go-ahead run, is standing at third base. Pioneers will bring the infield in. JoJo Fedoric steps up. Is that what are we doing? Fedoric, right? First pitch to Fedoric in there for a called strike. So Hassan standing down at third base. Tapped into and out of the Pioneers dugout. So 2 errors in the inning. It's Pioneers defense coming apart at the seams here a bit. And a line drive double over the outstretched glove of Stephen Bell in right field. Fedoric is 1 for 2 at the plate, looking to deliver a go-ahead run here. Swings and misses. Down he goes on the 0-2 pitch. First strikeout for Blackford, out number 2.
Now batting
And we have a pinch hitter, number 17,
17,
Jaron Kaiser. Or could be Keyser, Keyser. Pinch hitting for Ben Sills, who came out with an injury in the 6th. First pitch swinging. Keyser fouls that one off. Jaron. Keyser. Looks at a breaking pitch. Misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Could be another typographical error. We don't know. There's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. But we'll never know unless somebody who knows Jaron, Keyser, or Keiy, I don't know. We'll say chat. Send in a chat and let us know. Blackford, fastball high. Trying to get out of the inning and give his offense a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. And not have to come from behind as a 4-run 7th inning for the Phoenix. It's drawn them even. Just missed outside with that off-speed pitch. Tried to nibble right there at that outside corner, and we got a full count, as according to the umpire. We have a full count. Two outs. Go ahead run at third base. And that's ball 4. The 9th batter will come to the plate here in the top of the 7th inning. Caden Blackford on in relief of Trent Miller.
Batting, number 14, Luke Manning.
So Luke Manning, the first baseman, steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Ground down, a couple strikeouts as we have a line-to-line runners at the corners for the Phoenix. Keyser or Kaiser, 2-step lead. There is a check swing single in the right field. Stephen Bell comes up with it, makes a throw. A little bit errant, gets by Drew Plummer, but nobody able to move up. But Luke Manning did not mean to swing. Came around enough to get an excuse me base hit RBI to drive in Gaines Hawson with the go-ahead run, and the Phoenix now lead 8-7.
At bat, number 18, Alec Whitlock.
Second hit of the inning produces the 5th run for Cumberland. Now Alec Whitlock will bat with 2 out and 2 on. He led off with a cue ball shot down to Brody Melton at first base that just as it was getting to Brody, it took a quick left turn, glanced off of Brody's glove. By the time he could retrieve it, he didn't even make a throw to Trent Miller at first base. Blackford now down in the count, 2 balls and no strikes to the Cumberland catcher, who's 1 for 3. Double and 2 runs scored. Phoenix is taking an 8-7 lead here in the 7th inning. We're scheduled for 7. Now gone 3-0. Nobody listening in the Pioneer bullpen yet, but Whitlock reaches. I would think that might change. Due up in the bottom of the 7th for the Pioneers, 2, 3, and 4, Drew Webster, Landon Luderman, and Brody Melton. And there is a 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the inning, and apparently he was already listening because Jim McGuire out of the dugout, and he has made the call. So we'll have a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen. We'll take a break and tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the Ball State Sports Network.
Now batting, number 13.
Summit Concrete called to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Chip Harris from Clarksville, Tennessee. Clarksville High School on in relief of Caden Blackford, who goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 2 hits. Right now, 1 run is charged to Blackford. Brady Nepper, the leadoff batter. 11th batter to come to the plate for the Phoenix here in the top of the 7th. They've pushed 5 across and now have the bases loaded. Harris on 2-0 to the shortstop for Cumberland, who was hit by a pitch and scored already this inning. And he was not happy about being hit with that pitch. 2-0. That will miss somewhere. 3 balls, no strikes. Jaron Keyser at third. Luke Manning at second. Alec Whitlock, today pinch run for him on the 3-0 pitch. Would think they pinch ran for him. They did. 25 now in. Maybe Ethan Baird pinch running for Alec Whitlock down at first base. There is ball 4 and the 6th run of the inning comes across.
Stepping to the plate, number 4, Nate Severance.
Chip Harris, a freshman for Coach McGuire, pitched for the Clarksville Whirlybirds in the Ohio Valley League this past summer. Wood Bat League. There's a strike to Nate Severance. Fastball down in the dirt. Very ugly inning for the Pioneers here in the top of the 7th inning. Only been 2 hits. Yes, 6 runs have already come across and the bases are still loaded. Breaking pitch misses low and away. Severance 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. That occurred here in this big inning in the 7th for Cumberland. Harris now down in the count, 3 balls and a strike. And there is activity, some movement again in the bullpen for Vol State. There's a fastball in the inside corner called strike. Severance will face a full count, Ministries full count with the bases loaded. So you will see some action on the base paths here with this pitch. All State looking to end it right here. Down by only 2, and there's the pitch. Driving out to right field, Stephen Bell will make the catch for out number 3. Well hit ball, but Bell able to make this catch for the 3rd out. 6 runs put up by the Cumberland Phoenix. And the Pioneers need 2 to tie and 3 to win as we head to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening Tim Reese and Sam Wilson
Drew Webster.
producing the show on for the bottom of the 7th. And number 7, Drew Webster, stepping to the plate. Ball State needs some base runners as they find themselves down for the 2nd time in the ball game. Cumberland led 1-0 for a brief half inning, but with 6 runs in the top of the 7th, they take the lead 9-7 over Ball State. As we head to the bottom inning here, scheduled for 7 innings. Webster 0 for 3, now looking at 1 ball, 1 strike count. Wyatt Gateline in his 2nd inning of work. Gaines Hassan is out at right field now as that ball is drilled down the third base line, and it's fair. That ball will get to the corner. Webster will drop anchor at second base with a do-dat double. Just what the doctor ordered for the Pioneers, a base runner. Got some defensive changes that may have happened an inning or so ago, as maybe not. Number 17.
Now batting, number 5,
Jaron
Landon Luderman.
Jaron Keyser is now at third base. Gaines Hassan is in right field. And Landon Luderman steps to the plate. First pitch he sees is on that outside river for a called strike. They call it the river. That's the area between home plate and the white line of the other batter's box. So you'll see junior college umpires in general, that they'll call that strike when it's 2 balls outside of the plate. Luderman looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And he swings and misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Or is it 1-2? Is that what he put up there? It is 1-2. Okay.
Yeah, it's
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I had 2 balls, 1 strike.
Okay. Foul ball off to the left side. That will get through and into the parking lot. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's where you get to learn how to make those changes on that scoreboard, don't you, Sam?
That you do.
Sometimes you can't rely on that Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard out there. Sometimes these guys up here are another foul ball off the screen. Brody Melton will retrieve that. Pioneers looking for another base runner to get on in front of Brody Melton. Brody Melton predicted to have him a huge day. Double, triple, and just gets over the backstop there and just to the left of the remodeled press box thanks to MGM Industries windows and right rug flooring and Dudat Communications, and my lovely wife Susan Reese, who supervised the painting of the inside. Landon Luderman is going to have to make another donation to the Ball State baseball program if he continues to foul baseballs off at $9 a ball.
Are they really $9 a ball?
Or $100 a dozen. There's a drive down that third base line that will go foul. Luderman protecting the plate. That pitch looked like it was high and outside. But he is swinging about anything that Wyatt Gateline throws up there. He does not want to get called out on strikes. Be happy to drive in Drew Webster, who's standing on at second base with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's a ground ball that'll at least get Webster over to third on a productive out by Luderman. Not exactly what he had planned, but ground out for out number 1. Webster moves to third. Now the tying run.
Brody Melton.
Still at the plate. And Brody Melton, he can't walk it off, but he can tie it up with 1 swing of the bat. Had 4 home runs a year ago last fall. Probably hit about 450 in the fall. He is 2 for 2 as he looks at what I believe is a changeup. I hope is a changeup on the inside corner for a called strike. Brody doubled in the second and scored. Was hit by a pitch in the third and scored. And tripled in the fifth and scored. And just missed that one. Fouls it straight back. Down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Logan Molnar getting his exercise, bringing home plate umpire Tim O'Day baseballs to fill his bags on each side of his hip. Nice block by who I believe is still Alec Whitlock behind the plate. Popped up on the left side, out in the outfield grass, and in foul territory goes Jaron Keyser. And he makes the catch to retire Brody Melton for the first time today. And the Pioneers now down to their last out. Noah Ward.
Now batting, number 18, Noah Ward.
Flew out to the fence in left center field out there at the Jersey Mike's sign. And in the second, reached on an error and flew out to shallow left field. Looking for his first hit. There's a fastball at the knees on the inside corner called strike. Wyatt Gateline looking to get the win for Cumberland. Pitching in his second inning of work. Trying to work around a leadoff double by Drew Webster. Pitch just a little bit up, I guess. Might have been a pitch that Noah would like back. Sophomore playing his second year here at Vol State. Noah Ward, breaking pitch misses outside. From Knoxville Catholic High School. I think we got about 5 players from Knoxville. Luke Lawson, Landon Luderman, Noah Ward, Parker White, as the left hand of Noah Ward comes off the bat as he swings at that offering. Maybe it's 4 from Knoxville area. 2-2 pitch misses down low. Will have a full count. Ministries full count. Pioneers took a 7-3 lead to the top of the 7th inning. Gave up 6 runs. I would say the majority of those were unearned runs. Only 2 hits. There's a ground ball to short. This should do it. Nepper up with it, throws over to Manning, and that will end the ball game. As Noah Ward grounds out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. The Pioneers will go down in defeat in game 1 of the doubleheader, 9-7. Approximately 30 minutes from now, at about 4:15, we will begin game number 2. This game took 2 hours and 46 minutes to complete, as Cumberland JV wins 9-7 over the Vol State Pioneers. Thanks for joining us here for game 1. We won't have any recap of this. We can do that in game 2. So join us back here on the same Vol State Sports Network and on Twitter for game number 2. You've listened to the Vol State Pioneers on the Vol State Sports Network.